time, weather, and
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to my channel today. Truly appreciate you being here. And today I've decided to go sane. Old Fat Marine no longer feels as if he's going insane. Too few leaders today that are nothing more than dangerous children in the world that are choosing sides as we speak. The side we speak of is for the control of the next world reserve currency. Our leaders are more concerned with being on the right side of the next world reserve currency than the fact that your child was just killed in some far-off war. It's not their child, and heck, they'll get a free cross, and they'll get lawn care for a long time at no cost for that cross. The Federal Reserve needs the dollar to die so the bankers above the Federal Reserve can retain control of a new fiat currency and start the entire shill game all over again.
Don't mess with me, pork chop. What day is this?
Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day.
Old Fat Marine has decided to no longer dance to the music that's being played by those that rule the roost. Mainstream media is literally dead to millions of people today because of their known media bias. If somehow Old Fat Marine were to be able to show the masses how society is beginning to crack at the very foundation, very few people would listen anyway. Old Fat Marine is part of the movement that has been coined going sane. Those that understand what is being said are not going crazy. They're going sane. I became inspired through YouTube because of a collection of YouTube creators like David Morgan, Lynette Zhang with ITM Trading, Rick Rule, he's all over the place, and Economic Ninja, especially Economic Ninja. When Old Fat Marine started to watch and listen to the message of Economic Ninja, a revelation was revealed. What OFM, Old Fat Marine, was preparing for and what he's been worried about does not have to be a bad thing, at least not for those that dare to be perceived as insane. Old Fat Marine has realized that just because the most significantly important financial shift of wealth in human history is about to happen, it does not mean it has to be a bad thing. For those of us that are prepared, the profits will be staggering after the smoke clears. Economic Ninja has sounded a clarion call and has shown that those who are prepared have little reason to be scared. The message is out. The time of opportunity is upon us. It is time to amp the efforts of preparation for the event that will scar humanity for decades and possibly even centuries. What Old Fat Marine has learned is that it is virtually the entire world we live in believes there is nothing wrong with the world's monetary system. People today are going about their daily lives as if it will continue as it has for decades. While some see inflation as nothing more than a nuisance, others see it as a cloud of oncoming destruction looming with a dread witnessed scores of times before in human history. Once it was learned the definition of a fiat currency, the world has begun to change. As Old Fat Marine learned the history of what a fiat currency is, fear initially began to set in. At first, I purchased silver because it shone a path to security, and it couldn't be taken away from me. Today's preparation is so much more than just purchasing some silver. Every day that goes by, Old Fat Marine is adding one more brick to the wall of preparedness. When Old Fat Marine first started stacking silver, it was for pure profit. The opportunity to make some great returns because of a love of history. Seeing history and seeing the present time is quite revealing. Seeing current events through the prism of history, one soon realizes that because of human failings, the dollar is once again destined to die. Not once in history has humankind been able to allow an uncorrupted form of monetary exchange to thrive and live under its own weight. There are well over 775 documented civilizations that have failed due to the manipulation of the currency system. The Romans called it clipping. Americans today call it tapering. Call it what you want, but the looming death of the US dollar is as visible as the sun for those that are looking, for those that are versed in history. History shows us the utter failure of all fiat currencies as human history continues to maintain its 100% failure rate. This failure occurs only after a slow decay. As long as the decay was slow, the population not only grows accustomed to it, but then the wallets of the citizens, they just keep handing the money over to the bankers slowly over the years. In this case, it took 100 plus years, 1%, 2% at a time. While the average citizen is doubtful and fearful of what is coming, Old Fat Marine is greeting it with full combat gear. From the helmet to the soul, it has become apparent that preparation is so much more than stacking silver or guns. I looked in the mirror and I decided it was time for Old Fat Marine to transform his health. Watching Ukraine get thrown back into the Stone Age, it becomes clear that humanity has not progressed much, and the game is only in round 2022 of World War III. Where we go from here is pivotal because the species is beginning to evolve beyond marching orders to go to war. Citizens need to prepare at a level because America is so obese and out of shape. There's nothing more than a slaughterhouse here. Seeing dead civilians strewn in the streets of Ukraine should be shocking to the world. As we watch the streams of civilians walk away with their belongings, it did not take Old Fat Marine long to rationalize how it would be so difficult to carry around an obese body weight. Old Fat Marine was fat. He's old. And being fat and old sucks. Old Fat Marine can't even think of preparing for the hard times unless he addresses carrying around all the belly fat. It doesn't work very well in the real world. I'm still stacking silver like nobody knows, and my journey to lose 127 pounds is now in its 6th week. I have changed my eating habits back to what I know works, and so far, I have lost exactly 25 pounds in my first 5 weeks. My fasting blood sugar is once again back to a safer number, and that is without my metformin and some other pill. Also, my blood pressure is way down, and now I'm only stage 1 hypertension. Go Old Fat Marine. That's a big deal, actually. It's the goal to be off all medications because once the weight is lost, the need for the pills goes away. At least it will if I act before there's time. Because once you start taking injections of insulin, you're on the downward spiral. Healing will take place through weight loss. 25 pounds down, 102 more to go. More silver in the forecast. I have enough coffee for 18 months. Now you know where my mind goes. Have I gone insane? Or is this a movement to go sane? Good times coming? Besides, a Marine needs to be fit and would really suck if silver just took off in price and then you're not healthy enough to enjoy it. If you know what I mean. You know, climb over walls and such. Semper Fi.
This is the dimension. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.